Texas Tech at number 7 TCU over in Fort Worth. As I mentioned, TCU still undefeated, 8-0. Most people think, and Danny, you mentioned this, Brady, I'm not sure, that TCU is going to lose at some point. So you got Tech, then they go to Texas, then Baylor, hosting Iowa State to end. So they're favored by 9.5 at home in this one. What do you think about Tech going to Fort Worth there?
So you guys know I have a principle, right?
Yeah.
In the Big 12,
like
Brady remembers, so you don't pay attention, man. Brady pays attention. If there is a spread of more than a touchdown, you take the underdog. It is just too many points in this conference where they're banging on each other. They're very evenly matched. You see games come down to the wire all the time, even if you have to come from behind. Look at TCU, how many times they've had to come back against Oklahoma State. They're down 14. They come back. Texas Tech could be down 14 or 21. They've got more than enough power to come back in this game, and TCU's defense has been vulnerable. There's one thing that makes me nervous.
Okay.
Sonny Dykes is the king of cover. I mean, that dude always, and you've got some momentum on your side because of that initial 7 ranking. Do you dangle that over your team and say, hey, no one respects you? And do you try to get some style points going away? I would typically think that, but I'm sticking with my principle that maybe you want to do that, but you can't because you're not that much better than the other team.
I'll put it this way. I'm taking the 9.5 points in Texas Tech in part because this number's inflated to me. You go back to last week and you look at Texas Tech's loss. It was a 1-score game going to the fourth quarter, and then Texas Tech throws 3 of their 5 interceptions in the game in that fourth quarter to help create that separation versus Baylor. So, look, Joey McGuire got off to a great start to start the season. They were 3-1. Then they had a rough patch, right? Tyler Shuck got hurt. Donovan Smith eventually. Bayron Morton now comes in as quarterback. And so I don't know that this team is necessarily as bad as what maybe their record looks. I think this will be a much more competitive game between the two, and in part because TCU's defense isn't very good. They're 89th in total defense in the country. You talked about having to come back from all these leads. They give up a lot of big plays on defense. So just as explosive and as good as their offense is with Kendra Miller running the rock and the way Max Duggan's been able to throw the football around the field, the reality is Texas Tech should be able to do the same thing. So I'll take the 9.5 points. It's just too much for me. And by the way, I also like the over. I think this is going to be a back and forth typical Big 12 game, the over, the 6-9.5.
Danny, you're on the other side of that total?
Yes, I am.
You think?
I was just looking down at my notes. I forgot which way I had on the total on this one. I'm like Brady, though. If I feel really good about the total, I'll give it to you. If not, I'll just kind of lay silent.
Just kind of keep it on the side there. Brady feels really good about the over there. No. Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.